Good evening, my name is Laryssa, and I'm here to talk a little bit about the myths that cross time, a reflection of human psyche. First of all, what are myths? Since the dawn of time, humanity has felt the need to understand the origin and forms of things in the world. Myths had emerged as an answer to these questions, bringing comfort and understanding to humanity. These are ancient narratives that resonate across diverse cultures, reflecting universal patterns of thought and behavior. These ancient narratives aren't just ancient stories, they represent symbolic expressions of the collective unconscious, bringing to light themes that permeate our human experience. Carl Gustav Jung and mythology. Jung is considered the father of analytical psychology. In 1912, he began to take interest in ancient mythologies. And in 1913 to 1917, he started to recognize mythical symbols in his own dreams. In 1920 to 1930, he traveled to North Africa, Kenya and Uganda, Havana and Rome, India and the Pueblo Indians in America. There, he realized how these mythical patterns was in these diverse cultures with no communication, and he made a theory of the collective unconscious. The collective unconscious is a layer of the human psyche that shares experiences and patterns with all humanity, being a reservoir of archetypes or primordial images. It differs from the individual unconscious, which is unique to each person and is composed of inherent content transmitted from generation to generation. Between 1930 to 1950, he made the concept of archetypes. Archetypes are universal models of behavior, personality, and characters, or situations that recur across different cultures and histories, reflecting basic patterns of human experience. Conceived by Jung, they exist in the collective unconscious and influence our perceptions, emotions, and actions. Now I will compare some myths. In Greek mythology, we have Zeus, while in Tupi-Guarani mythology, Brazilian mythology, we have Tupã. They are both gods of sky, lightning, and the main god, representing the same archetype. In Greek mythology, we have Hades, and in Egyptian ancient mythology, we have Osiris. They are both protectors of the underworld, gods who judge the fate of the dead. In Greek mythology, we have Demeter, and in Inca's mythology, we have Pachamama. They are goddess of fertility, harvest, and earth. This is the theory that Jung created, that the myths from different cultures have the same archetypes because of the collective unconscious. But and today, myths are still very important, and we can see without realizing it in our daily lives. They also help us understand dreams, existential crises, fears, and aspirations. They preserve the collective memory of people and transmit values, traditions, and worldviews. For example, the myth of Hercules can symbolize the challenges and trials of human maturity. Also, mythology inspires modern narratives, using mythological symbols to adapt to their works. It functions as a universal symbolic language. We can see it on books, movies, or stories that we tell. For example, Marvel movies has these myths archetypes. So, we can see this when in ancient mythology we have Hercules, Achilles, Ulysses, and Athena. and their current version will be Superman, Captain America, and Wonder Woman. They represent the hero archetype, facing trials, overcoming obstacles, and maturing. In ancient mythology, we have Odysseus and Gilgamesh, while their current version would be Frodo and Neo. They represent the hero journey, leave your comfort zone, go through crisis, and return transformed. In ancient mythology, we have Zeus and Aphrodite, while their current version would be celebrities, influencers, and soccer players. They represent the archetype of modern gods, idealized figures who embody power, beauty, pleasure, or excess, and that sometimes are adored as gods. In ancient mythology, we have Minotaur and Medusa, where their current version would be Coringa and Voldemort. They represent the shadow archetype, the dark side of the psyche and society that needs to be confronted. And we high school students, do we live in some myths? And the answer is yes. We have the same symbolic script as the hero's journey. That is, first, the call of adventure. In myths, the hero is called to leave their comfort zone. Ulysses set out on a journey, Frodo receives the ring, and we students enter in high school facing new challenges, responsibilities, and expectations. Mentors and helpers. In myths, the hero finds guides, and we students have teachers, peers, and family members function as mentors and allies. Trials and enemies. In myths, the hero faces monsters, enemies, or temptations. And we students face tests, assignments, social pressure, doubts about the future, and anxiety. Descend into the underworld. In myths, the hero goes through a crisis like Orpheus in Hades or Hercules in his most difficult trials. And we students experience moments of exhaustion, failure, insecurity, or even the desire to give up. Conquest and transformation. In myths, the hero wins the battle, finds the treasure, or discovers an inner power. We students achieve approval, for example, we pass into university entrance exams, learns how to overcome limits, and matures emotionally and intellectually. The return. The hero returns to the community transformed and brings something valuable to others. We students graduate from high school and takes with us knowledge, maturity, and experiences that will serve our future and society. Myth speaks of human desires, fears, mistakes, and virtues, of greed, courage, love, and evil, and help people reflect on their own lives. Mythological stories can inspire courage, perseverance, and creativity to face everyday problems. To this day, Carl Gustav Jung analytical psychology uses myths and stories as tools that positively contribute to the human psyche. Each myth can represent a reality that needs to be understood so that we can have greater clarity and guidance on our journey. Myths are not just ancient stories, they represent the inner life of man. And you, which myth are you living today? Thank you.